What's up everybody, welcome. I am your host Dylan, and in today's video I'll be showing you the 10 places you definitely do not want to be in for a zombie apocalypse. Coming in at number 10, we got the Sin City, Las Vegas. I'm sorry for all you gamblers and party animals. I know it may be great fun during a vacation, even to live, but during the zombie apocalypse it would be anything but fun. The crowds and walkability of the city would instantly turn into a buffet larger than the city itself. And considering the sizes of the buffets in Vegas, that says a lot. Instead of steak and lobster though, the courses would consist of brains, and yes, even more alcohol, and casino addict brains. My condolences go to you, Vegas residents. Number 9. Miami, Florida. Florida has already seen a case of a man eating someone's face off, though in that case it was proven to be drugs and not a case of him actually being a zombie. But then again, not many people would be surprised if zombies did somehow come out of Florida. That state just has all sorts of freaky things going on, Miami included. Though it may be considered paradise right now, in an end of a world scenario, it would be more like a prison. A prison with zombies and gators. It almost makes you wonder if zombie alligators could be a thing, and if so, why hasn't sci-fi made a movie out of it yet? Number 8. Chicago, Illinois. Ah yes, a city of big shoulders. Another non-coastal place, but one that's less surprising simply because of its density. If you've ever visited Chicago, you know exactly how crowded it is. Skyscrapers fill the skyline, one right on top of the next one, and the city is filled with cars that jam-pack the streets. If the apocalypse did hit, people in downtown would have a hell of a time getting out. Even on an ordinary day, it's nearly impossible to move around. Can you imagine if people were all trying to get out of the windy city at the same time? Pure chaos. Pure and utter chaos. It would be a zombie's dream come true. Number 7. Los Angeles. I don't think anyone is surprised by LA's inclusion on this list. If anything, most people should be surprised the City of Angels isn't higher up. After all, even on a normal workday, or hell, even at 2 AM on a Tuesday night, it's nearly impossible to drive anywhere in Los Angeles without being stuck in traffic for hours. It's a living hell. Even without the threat of imminent demise hovering over the city, a mere quarter of an inch of rain could threaten to shut down the entire place. So of course, the threat of a horde of undead cannibals would make the city virtually impossible to escape from. The one saving grace for LA is that the city is by no means walkable. Zombies will have to struggle a bit to get around, as it's wildly unwalkable and public transit is well below par. Not that I'd be taking the train, but you never know. Then again, once they find their way to the freeway, they're in for a very tasty surprise. All a zombie would have to do is walk the freeway, picking off people who are stuck in an endless gridlock out of their cars, and enjoy more fresh brains that they could pretty much anywhere else on the planet. Number 6. Washington, D.C. Sure, sometimes it feels like DC is already filled with brain-dead zombies, especially when Congress is in session, but as far as we know, none of them have a penchant for consuming human flesh. If the real deal came about, though the politicians probably wouldn't find themselves in much trouble, most likely the fat cats on the hill would be safe, as there is undoubtedly a fleet of helicopters ready to whisk them away to safety at a moment's notice, but for the rest of us ordinary folks, well, we're pretty much screwed since DC is such a great environment for zombies. Number 5. San Francisco. That's right, I'm sorry state of California, you guys are pretty much screwed if a zombie apocalypse ever happens. There's only one city that could possibly compete with LA in terms of an absolute crush of humanity and utter social chaos, and that is San Francisco. So, you know, it's crowded, so crowded that people pay thousands of dollars for an apartment that's, you know, a few inches larger than a closet. Parking costs hundreds of dollars on top of thousands being paid out of an apartment, meaning many folks simply live without a car, which makes you wonder why traffic is so horrible there, but you know, that's beside the point. San Francisco is walkable, making it easy to get around whether you're alive or undead, and those who decide to live a car-free lifestyle are in for a very unpleasant surprise when they find the BART is not operational and they're stuck in the city with an army of undead monsters looking to eat their brains out. How does that car-free lifestyle work for you now? Alright guys, coming in at number 4, we got Boston. Now Boston is a beautiful city. It's crowded, it's congested, but there's no doubt that zombies would appreciate the overpopulation much more than anyone else. The one problem with the East Coast is how close many of these cities are to one another, making it really easy for zombies to traverse from one large city to the next, liberating large amounts of people one city at a time. Flyover country never looked so appealing, did it? Coming in at number 3, we got Newark, New Jersey. Alright, so we are getting to the big cities now, guys. Newark faces many of the same problems as its East Coast. Unfortunately, it's in close proximity to other major cities, it's easy to get around, and it's incredibly congested. So if you're unlucky enough to live here during the zombie apocalypse, you're going to find that it's next to the impossible to escape to safety. The proximity to NYC and other major cities used to look like a major plus, but not quite so much when you think of it in terms of the zombie apocalypse. Alright guys, we are down to our final 2, and coming in at number 2, we got New York City. Now, is anyone honestly surprised that NYC is showing up on the list? After all, if LA and Chicago are in trouble, you know New York will have it even worse. Being the largest city in the United States, it's congested and crowded beyond its limits. Just like in LA, all the zombies would have to do is walk the streets, picking people out of their cars as they try to escape the chaos, and yes, you better bet a city like NYC would devolve into sheer chaos if something like this were to occur. Having so many people in close distance to one another when a serious disaster like an undead apocalypse explodes is just asking for the worst. But if you think New York City would be bad, and it would be, just wait, there's still one more place that will be even worse when the zombies strike. And for our top pick of this video, coming in at number 1, Honolulu, Hawaii. What? That's right guys, you wouldn't think Honolulu could possibly be worse than New York, right? Oh, but it most certainly can be. While it may not be the most congested city, Honolulu is still very crowded, and there's one more downfall here that no other city on our list faces. It's an island. There's truly no easy way to escape should there be a, undead horde overrunning the island. You're completely trapped. You can't drive to the middle to America or head for the northern border to get away from the undead masses. If all modes of public transportation go down, you're stuck on an island with a lot of people who are prime zombie making targets. And guess what? There aren't that many hardware stores. Indeed, there aren't many stores at all in which you can possibly get weapons. So Hawaii, when the zombie apocalypse kicks off, you're pretty much in deep shit, so good luck. Thanks for watching everybody, I really appreciate it. Make sure to give this video a dislike, and of course, please subscribe, it would mean so much. Hope you guys have a great day. This was your boy Dylan, peace out.